Hey everyone, Sycrastream here, and welcome to this Sycrastream. Today, I'm joined with or by a special guest. Number one special guest, Flavia.
Never before seen.
We have Bob Meatback.
Hello.
And guess who it is? It's Jenny Jet.
Yay! What's up, you guys? I'm not late. What the? I am late, but I'm not late, Sycra.
You made it.
I was running away from the fires out here.
He was running from the fires. Yeah, you guys got fires around Sacramento. We have fires here too.
Wow, really? All the way up there?
Oh yeah, we get fires every year. Yeah,
oh, I didn't.
Here. And we have some maybe like 30 kilometers away.
Yeah.
Jeez, how's the weather? Is it cool or hot? Is it really hot?
It's hot, yeah.
And dry and
it's dry and hot.
Wow, I didn't ask you about that. I thought it would have been cold since you're in Canada, but I guess it's not cold. Fires in Cambodia. Yep, Stan says it.
Yeah.
What's up, Sycra?
Not a whole lot. I'm streaming right now.
You are. What's up, Bob? What's up, Flavia? Good to see you guys. How am I sounding? I need to make sure because I sat down. I was looking for earphones. How do I sound?
You sound like Jet.
I sound like Jet.
Yeah.
Let me make sure my Google Hangout is set to the Yeti because I'm not sure.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm good. Okay, great.
All right. So
hello.
Yeah, fires everywhere. And no one is drawing. I guess we could draw.
I'll pull out a drawing. I've been working on something, but yeah, we'll talk about it as we go. I have a drawing, so
yeah, and I'm setting it up as well.
All right, sounds good.
Congratulations, Bob! I heard what happened with Bob.
Oh. You want to tell the fine people on the stream what you're talking about?
Yeah, I got a letter from Hayao Miyazaki. So basically, what happened was that he's getting old, so I had in my head I'm thinking, he's probably gonna die at some point.
It's a once in a lifetime chance.
Yeah. So I figured I'd send him something to show him my appreciation. Except I didn't just make one painting for him. I made a painting for him. I made a painting for his producer, Toshio Suzuki, and I made a painting for Joe Hisaishi. I also made a painting for Isao Takahata, but unfortunately he passed away before I could send it. But I sent it anyways, except I addressed it to Mr. Hayao Miyazaki.
Wait. The Hayao Miyazaki?
Yes, Jet.
We're not talking.
Hayao. It's not a.
Oh.
But yeah, I sent it to him, fully expecting to not get a response, or maybe at least not getting a response for like at least a year or something, or maybe more, because who knows how much fan mail he gets. But surprisingly, he replied pretty quickly, because apparently the site that told me about the emailing him, it said it would take maybe about 3+ months to be able to get a response, but it only took maybe about one. And then and basically I got a letter with his writing on an animation sheet detailing how everybody in the studio saw it, and they were laughing, and he was really happy with it. He specifically mentioned he's really happy with Isao Takahata becoming a Buddha. Yeah, because Isao Takahata is like his oldest friend. And so when I got it, I'm just like when I first got it, I was just like thinking, no, this can't be, because I don't remember ordering anything at all. I'm just like thinking, he's like, what is this? What did I get from Amazon? I'm looking at it, and then I start noticing Japanese letters. I'm like, oh shit, no. And I start trying to get it open. Yeah. And I was so desperate in trying to get it open. I saw it, and I opened it, and then it was like covered in cardboard, and says, "Oh, please be gentle, and you need to be careful with the tape." So I just sat there for like 10 minutes trying to get the tape peeled off.
Oh my god. So
And then I saw it, and then I saw the letter and his handwriting. And it's like,
it's a physical letter?
Yeah, it's a physical letter. It's a physical letter.
Oh my god. That is such an honor.
Yeah.
That is huge. Man, and like the window was closing for anything to even like possible for this to even happen nowadays. So it's like
yeah,
man, you are so lucky.
Yeah,
your drawings, no, you deserve it. Those drawings are amazing. Beautiful.
Thanks, Jen. Thanks.
Oh.
But yeah, I guess that's my exciting thing. I'm still sort of reeling from it. Like I'm just kind of in disbelief. It's just like, whoa, I've seen you on TV, on the internet.
I saw you on the TV.
I saw you.
You made a movie or something. I think I may have seen that one.
Maybe you was like the icon of Japan.
Yeah.
Maybe known by every single Japanese human being.
Yeah, pretty much. Like
it's so huge.
Yeah, like I've seen Sycra and I and Flavia, we've all seen documentaries about him, and we're all really impressed with his like ability, his work ethic. He's a fucking hard ass. He's such a hard working motherfucker.
Wait, who in this conversation doesn't know Miyazaki? If you don't, you're a loser. You're a loser.
Oh wow, shit. You are such a bully. Holy crap.
You're a straight loser, okay? Get out of here.
Man. But yeah, anyways.
I'm gonna have to beat you up. Whoever doesn't know Miyazaki.
Oh boy. When we all thought you were so positive.
No, husband, do it too much already. Please stop.
Stupid.
Man.
Wow, that is
who knew this dark side of Jet existed?
Yeah, it's been a while.
I remember Jet talking about his dark side before.
Yeah. Hey.
What does it mean, no cuts, Bob?
Okay, so during the, I think it was it during or after them? But anyways, for the U.S. release of Princess Mononoke, they had to go through Disney, but I think at the time Miramax was handling it, and infamously, Harvey Weinstein, or was it no Harvey Weinstein? Harvey Weinstein is the producer, the lead producer, and he's the leader. He's the overall like representative or boss of.
Oh,
Miramax.
I know this story.
Yeah. So basically, at the time, everybody was calling Harvey Weinstein. What was it? Harvey Scissorhands. Yeah, because he would cut
yes. I remember this.
I guess the director's wishes or whatever to make it more profitable. I'm not exactly sure what the reason was. Miyazaki, learning about this, said, of course, at the first time refused no, and then he famously said, I defeated this man, this Harvey Weinstein, who came at me, yelling at me and stuff like that. But his producer also found out. And in response, he sent a letter saying no cuts along with a katana. And Harvey didn't touch the fucking film. Yeah, an actual katana, actual sword. Yeah. They actually had a documentary, and they showed the sword that Toshio Suzuki had with him, and I think he drew out the sword, and it made the shing noise.
Yeah,
that was really cool. So yeah, that's a reference to Toshio Suzuki's big balls. Yeah.
All right.
Hard ass. Wow.
That's a cool story.
Did you know about that story, Sycra?
I probably did, and then I forgot about it.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Like Harvey he had a history, and I was like, oh, when I heard the news about Miyazaki, like in the same line with Harvey, I was like, oh my god, please don't have any like bad stories behind Miyazaki, and it turned out to be like the perfect story.
Women.
Yeah. So when I heard that, I was like, yes, Miyazaki's on the winning team.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I thought we were gonna draw. We're all drawing.
We might draw.
Don't you see? This is a drawing.
That's a drawing pad.
Draw.
Draw it up. What are we drawing? Wow, those eyeballs look like K's.
Yeah, they do. 1K.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Are those custom brushes?
These are the harm brushes. Yeah, it's custom brushes made by a guy.
You should just claim it and sell it.
No, I don't. I don't think so.
Guys, we have some custom brushes made by Sycra, ready to go. These will make you into a master.
On Gumroad, I sell them for $14.
$14. It's a good deal. Get them right now. It's on sale.
My Indian accent's gotten much more rusty, and it sounds a little more.
It sounds a little more southern.
Sounds a little more like a
Redneck.
redneck accent.
Yeah, you gotta work on that Indian. Once, would you like some chicken tikka masala?
All right.
Masala.
Okay, so Jet, what's been going on in your life?
Oh wow. Well, so far I've just been sleeping like a potato. I've been asleep.
Okay, but before you were sleeping.
Yes. I want to get to that. So I went to Anime Expo July 2nd to the 5th, I think. No, 5th to the 8th. It was an awesome time, good time, and I want to talk about all of them times because there's a lot to talk about. But for the past couple of weeks, 3 weeks, I've been working on art for a friend's video game splash screen, and it's been really slow because I'm like completely just dead from all the events, and I'm just trying to recover right now. But we will talk about all of the craziness because I haven't told you exactly what happened. I have some big news, actually, some interesting, fun stuff. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well, it's not super big. It doesn't affect my future, but definitely like knock some stuff off the bucket list.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
You can't share it with the.
I will. Yeah, I am. I just don't know where to start. Like I literally. Do you want me to just spill it? Just spill everything in the floor? Just.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
spill it, homie. Spill it.
Well, okay, so I want to take you guys on the little journey about like AX, okay? Because this year was the biggest AX that I've ever had, and we initially planned it with a lot of people. A lot of people ended up showing up. Let me get my canvas out so that we can actually see what's going on. Where's the share screen? How do you share screen? This is weird.
This looks the green.
It looks different from. This looks.
It's been a while since you've streamed, right?
Yes.
Platform.
I've been away.
Hmm.
Yeah, you just go. Just. I want to get this little set up a little quick. You guys go ahead and answer some questions and talk about.
All right. Well,
we'll get back on it.
I gotta take care of some stuff. So.
Oh, okay, Flavia.
No, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not like I have to use the washroom or anything. No, I wanted to do some. I had to cover this thing. So I got contacted by New Masters Academy, and they said they have this lifetime thing that they're closing soon. I was like, all right. So you've got a lifetime membership that you're closing, and then they're like, oh, you should tell your people about it. So I guess I'll talk to you about it. So the first thing is the lifetime membership is like 2,200 something or other. So what this is pretty much like I'm guessing this is instead of art school. So if you can't afford art school, but you want a lot of education, or if you want or if you can afford it, but you just aren't sure whether to go to a physical school or not, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to tell you what I thought. So it's a lot of money, but it is on discount for $200, and they are ending their lifetime subscription thing. And I was looking through the stuff, and I asked them if I can just like show you stuff. So I'm not saying like buy it or don't buy it. I'm just going to show you stuff behind the scenes. And I really like this guy. So I looked through a lot of videos. They have a lot of really good teachers, but my favorite right now is Ray Bustos. He was a classmate of Craig Mullins, and Steve Houston, who taught Craig Mullins anatomy, is also a teacher here. So that's interesting. But anyway, I really like Ray Bustos.
Ray Bustos.
He's kind of quirky, and I really like these blackboard drawings he does. So anyway, there's that. Anyway, I find that very good. I liked Marshall Vandruff's perspective course, but that's a different thing. But that was like, yeah. So I like that one a lot, and it reminds me of that because it's just a guy in front of a board drawing, and I really like that for some reason. It seems easier, and they have a bunch of free stuff, anatomy resources, and I can't even click it. That's how good it is.
Wow, it's forgiving.
So
let's see. They have like images and models and stuff. So it's okay. I mean, if you can afford it, I would say it's better than the physical school I went to. But it does require a person who's the type of person who can learn from watching videos, and that's not everyone. Some people need to actually be in a class. But if you're disciplined and you're more like, I just want information and resources and stuff, then yeah, it's a good thing. And then I got so that's New Masters Academy. There's a link in the description if you want it.
cool.
And then also Parblo is having a 20% off sale, and they wanted me to mention it, and I said, okay, I'll mention it that you're having a 20% off sale. And they gave me a code, and they say, give this to your viewers, and they get 20% off. So Flavia uses a Parblo Coast 22 HD, and she likes it.
Yeah.
And so if you're looking for an affordable graphics tablet, that is 20% off with a coupon code.
Hey. Nice.
There's that.
Coupon code, guys.
All right.
That's a good way to start a stream. I think you got to get that out of the way early so that they can we can hear it.
Oh, questions, thoughts on the iPad Pro. So I'm using an iPad Pro to draw, and it's awesome. I really, really like it. Wow, that's cool, Jeff.
Thank you.
And the thing is, if you get an iPad Pro, and I'll probably make a more detailed video about this, I really recommend getting a grip for your pen to make it fatter, because the way they have it right now is it's very thin and it's quite heavy. Now, I'm not paid by iPad or whatever.
20%
And
discount.
I'm not paid by Parblo either. But with New Masters Academy, I do get a thing. If you use a link, I get like some money. I get some money if you use a link for New Masters Academy. But I didn't say that before, so you can't say I'm just paid, because I'm only mentioning it now because people are saying paid, whatever. But I don't get anything for Parblo, so buy it if you want. But anyway.
Question.
So yeah, get that grip and get a screen protector.
Dang, they got the questions set.
All right. So let me just ask you, Jeff, what am I looking at? What is this?
Okay, so this here, first of all, I just wanted to say, I literally got on 5 seconds before the stream, and so did Bob. I think Bob was like 2 seconds before the stream.
Yeah.
And so we were like busy, just fumbling over everything. I was trying to gather I'm trying to get references up for this. It's my friend's video game. I'm trying to get the references up, character design up that he did for the characters. So I can have I'm basically fleshing it out. I've had him on my stream before. He literally is like the closest friend of mine during art school, and he decided that he just make his own video game company, and it's actually doing really well. They're working on their like third installment of their game, and he asked me to do the splash screen for them. So that's what I'm working on right now. Yeah, it's a really good game. Go check it out, Diluvion. And I'm a shithead, a bad friend right now, very bad friend, because technically I was supposed to get started last month, but he's like, don't worry about it. You got to work on the convention. So I went to the convention, came back, went to a wedding, Cambodian wedding, and that drained my life. It's really intense. Cambodian weddings are no joke. And then And that after that, I finally was able to start working on it, and this is like as far as I got over the span of 3 weeks, which is terrible. I mean, we worked on a couple of thumbs, a couple of poses and stuff, but I should be much further along, much further along. But it's what happens when you like, for me anyway. After a big show and stuff, I kind of take a hiatus. I disappear from like everybody. Like I don't Instagram, I don't tweet, I don't YouTube. I just don't do anything, and I'll do like smaller freelance jobs here and there, and just kind of just disappear for a little bit. And it's just so hard to just like get a grip and come back. And Sycra was the first person, like outside person, to like reach out and like drop a little life into my soul, and I just like started to feel a little regenerated. So thanks, Sycra, for that. You have rekindled my art life, my career.
You're welcome.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that's what I'm working on now. I just want to pull.
How do you spell the name of the?
Oh
game?
yeah, it's Dilute is DILUVION.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah. It's an underwater.
IVVIO.
Yeah. You guys definitely go pick it up, and then if you guys do, give me a shout out. Be like, hey man, the Jetty Jet Show sent me. That would be cool because that would kind of make up for my procrastination and all my fault. Just ruining our friendship like this.
Smooth it over.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I want to talk. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, yeah, you want to talk about the convention, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
So, unless you want to talk about some stuff.
Oh, we got plenty of time to talk.
We got plenty of titties. Times.
Ozj asked you, Jet, how is your not safe for work content working on Patreon? Did it boost up your numbers?
The movies actually, it's okay. It helps. It definitely helps, but it's not like a big difference. You know, there's actually a lot of people who actually are in it for the art and are in it to learn. So there's a good amount of people who are interested in the NSFW, and yeah, it's split probably like 50-50. So pretty good. It's really good.
All right. So what happened at the convention that was so special?
So special, man. Well, I'll just say it straight up. I got to have dinner with Kren's art, like, and have one-on-one talk with him and chill with him, take pictures. He gave me like full on like tutorial, like he asked me like anything I was curious about, anything I wanted to learn, that he'd answer for me. And off the top of my head, it's just like 1,000 questions just like rushed in my brain. I was just like at all like, oh my god, this is my chance, don't blow it. But I get to ask like some of my most like curious questions, the ones that I've always been like curious about and thinking about for a long time, and he answered it. And I'll be the next Krenz. I'll be
You're on your way.
JK. No, work ethic is everything, and I have so much more to go before I can be like him. I feel like it's all about consistency and work ethic. Like no matter how good you are, it means nothing if you can't like produce, if you can't stay working. But damn it, why am I having issues finding the freaking? Oh, I know. Okay, so I'm trying to still find if I could just pull up the damn references for this game, I'm good to go and I can start drawing. But there it is. There it is. So yeah, I was at the table with Cynics and Ross. We shared a table. Ross had 2 tables and me and Cynics shared one. And I wonder if Cynics is listening right now. Is he listening right now? But anyways, Cynics and I have been doing it for the past 3 years, and this last one, we had a promise, we had a pact. We're like, okay, our goal is to draw every single day, prep a drawing every day, like do daily sketches, and then turn those daily sketches into like potential finished pieces when it came closer towards the convention. And I stuck with it on my end, but Cynics did not. That bastard every single day. Cynics, if you're watching, you know what I'm talking about. Like every day. He's a hardworking guy. He's also teaching. He also much more consistent on YouTube and stuff. So for him, conventions and prints are not his primary concern. So but every day, every time we would hang out, I would be like, Cynics, you gonna work on it? I'd be like, yeah, I get to it. I gotta make it.
Pretty good Cynics impression.
I gotta do I gotta do video on toes. I gotta do videos on color or something else. And it was like that every single hangout. And then a year just went by, and he ended up not doing a single drawing.
If next time you see a bus, you should look under it and see if you see Cynics under there.
Cynics did really well. He did bring like 5 drawings that he had pre-made to the convention, and he did pretty good. Made some good change. And no, like I call it. Well, I'm saying, like, if you can cover like your dinner and your every night dinner, your gas, and it's good, and it's like he's just really there for a good time. But the sad part is he split half of the table with me, and the tables aren't cheap, and I'm just like, I just push him. Just gotta. Those were just old ones to repurposed. Yeah, repurposed, exactly.
Maybe you need to bring out your bully side again.
Yeah.
And just be like, Cynics, you're a loser, Cynics. God damn, I'm gonna beat you up.
I'm gonna beat you up, Cynics. I tell him that every day. He'll just bring it. Come on, bring it.
But isn't he super busy growing a beard?
he had a beard.
Yeah.
I just want to say, Jet, you got like that little thing that you did with Cynics' voice is really good. You become very, very familiar with the voice.
Yeah, it's not hard. You gotta bring it right here. Like, nah.
You should have become very intimate.
Yeah. So there was that, and then I had like my good friend Jimmy, baby Jimmy. Okay, you guys know Jimmy. He's like he used to be one of the plebs, but now we've brought him up to the top, and he hangs out with us. And he couldn't make it out this year because of fine arts reasons, but he had everything planned. He got the plane. My other friend, Steven, my good friend from the Philippines, he also was supposed to come. He had to cancel because of other issues, because of work and stuff. So everybody's canceling. Didus, if you guys know Didus, he's an animator on YouTube, pretty popular kid. He was supposed to come out. He canceled out. So I ended up renting. Yeah, voice crack. Renting an SUV and like an Airbnb fit for like the whole party and everything. So it ended up just being me and the Boogie Monster. So that was the start of our trip. And it looked pretty sad at first, but in the end it was a really, really good time. We had no hiccups, and I ended up meeting a lot of awesome, amazing freaking artists that I didn't even know existed. You guys know of Godtail?
Yeah.
I didn't know Godtail until I freaking met him.
You should have watched the Limits thing.
Yeah. I know of Limits. Okay, so Ray Q was there, and Ray Q is pre-teen confirmed. I've always voice cracked Louis. That's a constant for me. But Ray Q was there, and Ray Q is an awesome dude, and I feel bad because, again, hiatus. He messaged us the hangout. Is anybody out there? You guys want to hang out? And nobody responded because they're just like, I'll get to. You ever do that?
No.
Yeah.
I don't have many friends.
Oh, we're just like, I'll get to the message, man. I don't. And eventually it just slips, past, and you never really get to it. But yeah, Ray Q was there, and he hosted the his friends. So he brought the friends from Limits, Godtail, and Ken Tucson. You guys know them?
Yeah.
You guys know them both. Oh, I feel, man. I didn't know them, and he introduced me to them, and we got along really good. They're so humble, so awesome and talented. Like, oh my god, like God tell he's like a prolific like animator Miyazaki in his own right, and nobody knew who the hell he was. He showed me an animation of his, and it looked like an intro for like JoJo's Bizarre World, Berserk, which other ones? You guys ever seen Redline?
The one with the car?
Yeah, with the cars. He's got that kind of, really edgy, dark ink style. He showed me this full-on animation for 5 minutes, and he's just like, yeah, I did that. I'm like, it's like better than any like intro you've seen in any video game, in any anime. And I'm like, where can I see this? Can I see this online? Can I see this anywhere? Can you purchase this intro? Because it was that good. And he just kept saying, no, it's exclusive. So he's showing it to me, and it's going to be part of a video game.
Huh.
But it was incredible. My goodness. And such a nice dude. I picked up 2 of his books, one from Ken2 and one from him. Yeah, just one each. But he ended up giving me one of his like hand printed or hand painted, or I'm not sure if it's printed or painted. I actually haven't pulled it out of the bag. I've been so out of it. Gave it to me, and I think those sell for like $300 at the stand. So he just like signed it, gave it to me as a gift, and that was an honor. That was so awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and also I got a shirt from him, and I was wearing it the day that he gave me the gift, so I felt good, like, because like if they give you a shirt, sometimes you might put it away, you might just like leave it at home, but that day I wore it, and I didn't put it in the car, you know what I mean, and I didn't expect it, but I was like, man, I needed, I just want to wear it, so I just put it on that day, and then he showed up. It was the 3rd day or something, and he just showed up at the table. And that was really cool. Ray Q was there, Ken2, and then I didn't get to meet Sakimi-chan, but we hang out a couple times during the previous events. But this one, every time we pass by her booth, she has like a concert in front of her. Like, it's huge. It's just like there's at least 20 people at all times in front of her booth. At least 20 people. And I've seen at most like 50 people, like crowded. There's no line. It's literally just a crowd, and these huge banners that shoot up to the sky. It wasn't this high this time, but they're pretty high, and it just looks really awesome. And Pro, like, she's definitely like the queen of the conventions. And then obviously Ross has that same kind of traffic. So he's next to us. But we had a wall separating the immigrant. I mean, you got to keep the illegals out. So we had our own wall blocking out Ross, but we did share the same booth, like it's under his name. But we had the wall up, and then his audience would always spill over onto our side. Every now and then, they'd just be like screaming out "Color Dodge" and "Oh my God, Ross!" So that's pretty cool. Yeah, well, Ross had a huge wall. Yeah, his wall was like 10 feet high. My wall behind me was also 10 feet high, but the walls beside us was about 8 to 7 feet, because Cynics didn't want to push it up all the way. He just kept saying, it's got to be lower. So, who does Ross? Ross draws. Yeah, so he bought 3 tables, and he gave me one of the tables, and he had 2 of the tables. He didn't give me. We paid for it. And this next year, it's really sad because we've done it for 3 years now. But I won't be joining him next year. I won't be joining him. Yeah, it was sad. It was like the second day, the lady comes by, and they kind of like, they're like salesmen, they come by and they rush you, like, hey man, you need to pick these tables now. So Ross, asks me, hey man, you want to do this again next year? Let's do it again, because he's going to do 3 tables next year. And if I want to do it, Ross would have to sign me under his name again and buy 4 tables. So I had to make the call immediately. And at that moment, I felt like I needed to see how we're gonna do at the end of the convention before I can make the decision. But they want us to pay up front there, and each table is like $1,800. So you need to make a decision. So it's no joke. And so I'm standing there, you know, and I'm just like, man, what the hell do we do? And Cynics, me and him, we share the table, so it's easier on us. I look at him and he's like, nah, he's not feeling it. And for me, going into it as well, I wasn't planning on doing it again either. So I ended up telling him, nah, we're not gonna do it next year. And there's a lot of other reasons too for why we're not doing it. But not bad reasons. They're all good reasons.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of going to exciting places, Bob.
Oh boy.
You recently came back from somewhere interesting. How was that?
Oh boy.
Where was that and how was that?
Okay, I'm gonna need a sip of water for this.
Yeah, keep it casual.
So yeah, I just had to pause because I was going on for a bit more. Obviously, I got a lot, and I have coffee in my system, so I can keep going. But you guys go ahead.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. No, sorry, Jed. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I stopped so you guys can go. Like I want.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll get back on it in a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for a while now, my mother was talking to me about needing some help with going to China and stuff like that for finances. So I agreed because she needed the help, and I was just like thinking, oh, okay, we're going to be going to China. Well, I'm not looking forward to the trip in a way because it's going to be a really long flight. The reviews weren't very good on Air China apparently, and overall it's just like, oh, I'm going to be going at the warmest time for China. And so I'm just like thinking, oh, that's not going to be all that fun. So I'm just like, okay, I got to get stuff ready and whatnot. I get to China. I get on Air China, and it turns out to not be so bad. It's like, okay, this seems really nice. The food's not the worst. Things look clean and it's high tech. It's like, okay, so this is cool. And then I proceed to go to China. It takes a long time. Have a stop at Beijing. The humidity is fucking horrible. And then we eventually arrive in Changchun, which is where my mother lives and where her family lives. It's where she grew up. And we arrived at night, so at first it wasn't too bad. The air was a little stinky, but I expected that for China. We got on the bus. And they still used like paper tickets. They didn't have anything electronic. So I get on the bus and I just wait. Okay, it's on the bus. And once when I get on the bus and I get on the road, it's bumpy all the time. So I just go yeah. That's how bumpy the road is. And every now and then you just hit a big bump and you go like, whoa, just like that. Yeah. So then I'm just like thinking, okay, so their infrastructure is kind of iffy. This is interesting. It wasn't too bad, but it was just sort of like, okay, this is bouncy. Yeah. We get to a stop. I come off, and the road is completely, well, it's still a road, but it's like there's like bits of blocks. It's very uneven. We're on the street. We're on the street now, and it's very bumpy. There's like puddles of water everywhere, and I faintly smell something stinky, but at the time I didn't know what it was. And as soon as we get off, we get swarmed by a whole bunch of people. And at first I was just like thinking, okay, why are they here? They keep on saying something. 你去哪里? 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 Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? It's like, where are they trying to help us? What's going on? And then I realized, oh, these are taxi people. They're swarming us so they can ask where are you going? Like, do you need to go someplace? We need the money and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, it's like it's not as if there's a schedule for these buses from the airport. It's just that all these taxi people were just there. They just knew somehow. I'm just like thinking, oh shit, are they? Like looking back on it now, I'm just like thinking, oh, are the bus people in cahoots with the taxi people? Because that'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, that's Romania.
Huh?
Yeah, they give
calls to the taxi people. That's how it is in Romania too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They just call them ahead of time. It's like, oh, your guys go to the station.
Yeah. So we're sort of like in this intersection, like well, not an intersection. We're like in this street where it's just like goes to a more hidden part of the neighborhood and then onto the part of the main street. So then my mother's directing me towards the main street. Her brother-in-law is there as well to help us with taking some stuff, and we're walking towards the place where we're going to be staying. And I'm looking at the building and the street. I'm just like, this seems vaguely familiar. Like, I'm pretty sure I've been here when I was really young. I'm walking towards this building, and it's like, it looks really decrepit. It's looking dirty as hell. It kind of looks like it's like, because there are some new buildings in Changchun, and then this one, it was like it's all in the downtown area. And so then this building is like, okay, it looks kind of old. It looks kind of decrepit, and it looks not very well taken care of. So, and then we go off to the side, and where it's like, okay, we're going to the back of the building, and it's the way there is completely fucked. The road is kind of broken bits of cement, and there's like there's like this puddle that there's like I just remember a lot of puddles, and then this smell of sewage water just hits me in the face. I'm just like saying, what the fuck? Holy shit, where is this coming from? And then I keep walking, and there's like this partially filled manhole, and it doesn't have a proper place, so it's just covered with some blocks of rock. And I'm just walking, and it's like I get hit with the sewage water smell, and then I start smelling weird chemicals. And then they say it's like, oh, it's because this is a place where they fix cars. And I'm just gagging because not only is the pollution hitting me, but the sewage water is hitting me. And I'm starting to taste it in my mouth. And I'm just going like, oh, God, this is fucking foul. Holy shit. And then we go to the back, and we see the place where I'm going to be staying at, and it looks like a freaking Indian ghetto. It's full of just shit everywhere. I'm not exactly trying to accurately describe it. But basically, I'm walking up the stairs. It's completely dark. There's no lights anywhere because it's in the back, and the building doesn't have any external lights. Mm-hmm. I'm walking up the stairs, and I'm like thinking, oh shit, I can't see. And the stairs are not only are they uneven, some bits have like big chunks, like just missing. And so I'm just like, I'm carrying something heavy, and it's like, oh, if I fall on my back, I'm gonna be fucked. And so I'm just going up the stairs. I have to be really careful. And not only is the sewage water smell hitting me, but demolition dust is mixed in there as well. So I just start gagging. It's like, holy fuck, how am I supposed to breathe? Like, how am I supposed to breathe in these conditions? And I just get this sinking feeling in my gut saying, like, I'm stuck here for the next 3 months. Uh-oh. So I'm walking up the stairs, and it's completely shit. It's super ghetto looking. Yeah. They open up the door. And as soon as I walk in, boom, sewage water smell. It's even stronger this time, except it's been like, it hasn't been aired out for however fucking long, because nobody's living in the place that we're staying at, which is my grandmother's place. She's gone now, so my mother and I are staying there.
Wow.
And I get in, and it's really stinky, and it looks really cramped, and the lighting is bad, and it looks super ghetto, even though my mother renovated it, so it's not as ghetto as it was before. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like thinking, okay, fuck, this is where I'm staying, whatever. I go into the bedroom, smells of sewage water, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, I'm going to be sleeping in basically sewage water smell. Oh. I'm screwed. Whatever, I'm tired, go to sleep. Next day, I wake up, and I get up, and then I see my mother mopping the floor. I'm just like thinking, okay, whatever. I put on my sandals, and then I go about my business. And then I see, later on, I see her putting the mop someplace. And then I look in there, and I just see, oh, she has the mop in the toilet. She's cleaning the floor with toilet water.
Oh, who's doing this?
My mother.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and the thing is, the toilet isn't a regular toilet. It's a squat toilet.
Oh, yeah. It's got a squat.
Yeah. And not only is a squat toilet really bad, but it doesn't flush properly. So for a little while, we were peeing and pooping. Yeah. There would be no flush. It would just be poop. It would just right in the squat toilet.
Don't you get like a bowl of water, and you're supposed to flush it like manually with actual water?
Yeah, apparently it wasn't working.
Not at all. Just like
No, like the
going
building is fucking old. Like
Aw.
it's only like 40 years old or something, but it's so badly taken care of. It might as well be many hundreds of years or something. Like it almost looks like it's like somebody built the thing in a war zone and made it barely livable, basically.
Wow.
That's how it was. It was really disgusting. So I, as soon as I saw that, it's like, oh, she's cleaning the floor with toilet water. I'm never touching the floor again. Anything falls on the floor, I'm not fucking touching. This is disgusting. And not only is the squat toilet, it's a squat toilet, but it also functions as a shower. You take a shower in the squat toilet. And it's,
Oh no.
and the thing is,
In above the squat toilet.
yeah, and not only that, but apparently there's electric plugins right next to where the shower is. So basically, there's always the chance of not only dying by poo infection, but also being electrocuted.
All in one squat toilet.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's fucking cramped. It's like the size of a large coffin. So whenever I'd be going to take a shit, you can smell everything. Not only do you smell, not only do you hear, but you see what's happening. I gotta tell you, man, there's nothing as humbling as seeing shit come out from between your legs. That shit is humbling. There's nothing glamorous about the human digestive system. So every time because I smell it every time, I grab a shampoo bottle, stick it up my nose, and just squeeze and breathe in the shampoo air because it's better than smelling the shit that's coming out from my asshole. I'd just be squeezing. I could be, oh god! And even then, I'd still be able to smell it. And it's a specific, disgusting smell of something super sugary from like the shampoo and something that's mixing with poo. It's very basically it's very disgusting. Now
for 3 months.
Thankfully I didn't stay that long, only about a month or so. But anyways, in order to take a shower, you need to get like this big wooden board, and you need to put it over the squat toilet. And that's what my mother told me.
Right.
And it's like it's gross, but like whatever, I get it. I just need to make sure it's consistently it only goes down in a certain way. But even then, I couldn't trust my mother with it because she's cleaning the floor with the toilet water. What else should she be cleaning things with? So, anyways, that's how you take a shower. I told her it's disgusting, it's gross, whatever, and she said, "Fine, I'll change it or whatever." And I'm not exactly sure what she did, but at one point, I go into the kitchen and I see this board on the in the kitchen, and she's using it as something as a cutting board.
Not the board.
It's the board from the squat toilet.
Mom,
cutting food and putting food on the squat toilet.
Don't put the food on the squat toilet.
And get this, she has a towel that she washes the board with that she then uses to clean the dishes. I was basically eating second and third hand poo the entire time.
Why did she do that?
I always knew that my mother had problems, but holy shit, I didn't know until then just how bad it was.
Literally, holy shit.
Yeah, literally shit. She is fucking ghetto as hell. I'm just like, oh fuck, this is disgusting. Yeah. And so I'm just like thinking, okay, I'm gonna have some sort of violent diarrhea at some point. And it's just, and because it's a squat toilet, it's just gonna be a mess. It's gonna get on my feet. It's gonna get all over me, and that's just the way it is. And I had to accept that.
Wow. Did you get sick? Did you end up getting sick?
No, surprisingly, I was
wow.
Okay. Thank God. Apparently, my Asian immunity was not completely gone.
Da-da-da.
I was actually a bit of a problem because instead of having a lot of wet poo, I apparently had a lot of like very dry stuff, and it was very difficult getting the poo out. So I was basically I was dreading every time having to poo. Like I would be like, how long can I not poo? And that's I would just try my best to not poo because I would be stuck there trying to poo and it wouldn't come out, and I'd just be I would be squatting and my legs would just become really painful because I was having knee problems.
Okay, I think we're good.
Yeah,
we're good on this
the whole time.
All right,
good job.
So a lot of people in the chat have been commenting on the cat. The cat is done by Flavia, and for anyone interested, Flavia has a store
Oh
imprint
no!
Hey.
where you can see it. Like you can get cats and stuff.
Aw.
You can get
Yeah.
cool cats like this. That's really cool.
Cute. Cute.
And
B. Hain asks, is this a art stream?
it's an art stream, kind of. This is my cat, by the way. Her name is Chasse.
It's all kinds of streams. Chunky ones and
Yeah, it's a mixed
Fluid ones.
bag.
we got the jet stream,
We got Jet,
the Sycrastream.
Sycra, to give us the uplifting.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Does Flavia do cat commissions? Yes, she does. In
Ooh.
fact, she does. If you want it, you can commission her. I'll have to put a link in the description afterwards. But yeah, she does do commissions, and they're
Aw.
quite reasonably priced. Speaking of reasonably priced, I have a merch shop now for everyone who's asking about merch.
no.
You can get cool Sycra stuff.
Really?
Dog tags and I don't know, and notebooks and yeah.
I didn't know you were selling notebooks and dog tags.
Yeah, I wasn't, and then financial difficulties hit, and it seemed like a good time, But also, people would ask, do you sell merch? And it's like, yeah. I mean, before I would say no, but now it's like, yeah. But the important thing is, I did go over all of it, and it's like I put stuff that I would want myself to buy, but I don't have, like, what I wanted to do was be like, I bought this T-shirt, and it's really good quality and stuff, and I don't have enough money to afford my own merchandise.
Oh no.
So I have to wait for some months to get the money so I can buy my merch so I can see if it's good quality. 'Cause it is. I'm really hoping this is okay stuff. It looks okay. I mean, I don't wear hats, but I think this hat's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Some of it's all right. I like this one, the snapback hat too.
Wait, I want to see.
There's beanies. And there's like, I made like limited edition stuff because they said you should make limited edition stuff.
Yeah.
All right, I make limited edition stuff. So
okay.
I made a bunch of colorful ones, and those are there's a bunch of different colors. So you can choose like all the different.
Oh, they're nice. I'm just looking at them.
I mean, we tried really hard to make sure it's not just garbage.
Yeah, they're
It's not
cool.
just like, we're selling this because we need money. It's like, yeah, that's true, but we also try to like make them decent things.
I really like the graphic element. Graphic stuff, it really works on clothes. Illustrations, not so much. So I'm happy to see that it's your logo, because I've seen people like we were talking to some people at the convention who wanted to make shirts for me, and then another guy comes in and he basically breaks it down because they are doing shirts as well. And he's like, if you do anything, make it graphic because illustrations are not doing it. Like, they don't do well at all.
I mean, some of I like some of the illustrations. Like,
it depends. It depends. Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's not a shirt. That's not a shirt. That's
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a couple of shirts with illustrations that I like, but I kind of don't like the print quality of it. So
it
depends. Nice on a shirt.
It works. It depends. It depends. Like, I think your style is also good as well because it's a very 2D style. So, flatter colors. I'm talking about like rendered illustrations, like almost like a painting kind of thing. So yeah. Culture rep.
So I think that's it, right? That's all the promotional stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jet, do you have anything you're trying to promote or sell or something?
I ain't got nothing, man.
No, right.
I got nothing.
Well, Flavia's prints are cool.
Yeah. Go get them, Bram. Go get those prints.
Yeah.
They're cute.
All right. So China is a Sounds very different from. I know Cynics recently went to China.
Yeah, he Cynic.
Like a completely different experience.
What did
Well,
he
here's
tell
the
you?
thing. Here's the thing. Changchun is not like other parts of China. I went to Beijing, and it was much nicer. It's humid as fuck. Like both Changchun and Beijing are bad in terms of heat. Beijing is worse because of the humidity. But at least when I went there, it's like, oh, the roads aren't bumpy. It doesn't constantly smell of sewage water. And that's the thing with Changchun. It's like even we were in the downtown area, and we were also like I walked by this place with that was apparently a really high class hotel in Changchun, and we're walking by the front of it, and all of a sudden I just smell human shit. Just like that happens. You'd be walking by and you just smell the smell of human shit will just hit you in the face. And not only that, when it rains, there's like miniature, like small floods because their infrastructure isn't good, so they don't have like proper drainage systems. So basically, Changchun is like it's dirty, it's smelly, it's stinky, the roads are kind of bad. Everybody's super fucking aggressive. I would not call it a first world country city. Whereas Beijing feels like, yeah, this feels like.
Bob, you should be the tourism spokesperson for Changchun.
You know what? I actually would advocate people to go to Changchun because, like, here's the thing. When I went to Beijing, like, it was a nice experience because things were quality. There was some quality stuff there. Besides the seeing that bull penis and goat testicles was on the menu for food, but going to Changchun, it made me a lot more appreciative of Canada, even though Canada is a pretty mediocre country, not in terms of like its environment or the fact that it's not a first world country or something, which it is, but it's just that China really fucking sucks. Like,
You gotta start like traveling around the world and just have a globe and point to different countries and start explaining your thoughts of them.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Egypt.
China did
Pyramids.
suck, but it's
China
like,
sucks.
yeah, the pollution was horrible. But now I'm super aware of the environment now. It's just like, oh, you live in the environment. Oh, of course you need to breathe air. Being able to drink water from the tap. Yeah, that's a great luxury, isn't it? And it is. You can't fucking drink water from the tap because you'll get sick. You'll get poisoned. It's probably sewage water or something like that. The pollution is super fucking bad. Yeah, the pollution is and the infrastructure is bad. The people are a lot tougher and they're a lot more aggressive. But it's kind of expected because of the place that they live in. It's just it's worse condition. It's like, oh, you go to some place it's not good enough to be able to see like someplace bad. If you go over there and you live there for a while, you become a lot more I would say humbled, because like everything is just worse, and then you become a lot more grateful for what there is. Because I gotta tell you, the first time I came back to Canada and just breathed in air, I can breathe, like holy shit, I was super fucking happy.
Yeah.
And it's like not having to worry about manholes that aren't exactly metal, so you can't step on them because you'll fall down the manhole into the sewers. That was a welcome relief as well.
It sounds like you were constantly fearing for your life.
So I don't know, kind of like there were times where like, people are making U-turns everywhere on the street. There's like I never really had to worry about traffic the same way that I did when I was in China. Like it's because like the cars will come straight at you. They won't care. It feels like they're gonna mow you down. And it's like, this is like a live, dangerous animal that you have to be careful of when you're crossing the street. And just everything is a lot more chaotic, and everything's, I don't know, it's a lot more interesting in a kind of a horrible way, but it's a character building experience.
Nice.
You know? So yeah, I'd recommend people go to someplace really shitty and just stay there for a while.
I've had that kind of similar experience. Not as bad, but similar.
You mean in Cambodia?
In Cambodia. Like, it's really nice. I mean, like everything. It wasn't like shit everywhere, but it was still a third world country, you know.
Yeah.
So, and this was when I was 12 years old, and so that's about 15 years ago, and it wasn't as developed as it is today, but it definitely felt like we were in an adventure, like a real life or death adventure. And like at one point we were driving to Angkor Wat, one of the biggest temples over there. We got stuck inside a huge ditch, not ditch, but a flooded water kind of area, like a mini pond. So like I'm drawing it right now, but like we're driving through the whole entire countryside, and there's like people and cars all over here, and they're all basically with rope and cars and helping the cars get across. So you just drive across, and some cars, the bigger cars, can just like plow right through it. And this is about, I'd say, 50 to 100 feet across, so it's pretty long. But the water, it went up to like about 3 to 4 feet deep. At some, I think the deepest maybe have been like, yeah, about 4 feet deep. So it's not that deep, but it's still pretty deep. Can you imagine 4 feet? You guys are metric.
I'm 4.
Yeah, you're about 4 feet.
That's my height.
Okay, so yeah, so there you go. So that's, I mean, just imagine that much water. Anyways, our car basically stalled in the middle of the pond, and everybody was going across fine. And then when it was our turn, water flooded halfway, like up to our waist, and we were already in the deep jungles. Like no city lights, nothing, and like no mechanic, nothing like that. So we were pulled out of that, and that was like just one little instance of like how we survived that trip. Oh shit. Yeah. It was, but it was fun, and like you said, taking away from just the things we kind of take for granted in the developed world.
Well, that's pretty good. You went over there for was it like to visit family or something?
Yeah, it was my first time seeing actual family that are still there, and we got to see everyone.
That's another thing I would recommend. If you, let's say you have your fam, like especially if your parents are immigrants, it's a good idea to kind of go back to your original country to meet your relatives, because that was one of the reasons why I went as well. Is just to be like, okay, so not only am I going to be going back to where my mother lives, I'm going to be seeing her relatives. I'm going to be seeing her with her family. It's a good way. Yeah, it's my first time kind of since ever. But yeah, you get to observe your family members in different situations, and because of that, you can kind of basically see where you come from.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, which behavioral trait have I inherited from whatever parents that I have?
Mm-hmm.
And going back to China, it's kind of like I can see where my mother came from, like why she's so ghetto, because like she was her family was in a very poor area, even though they were fairly relatively well off compared to the other folks there.
Yeah,
but you get to see your lineage, and that's one of the things that I found out was really important.
Right,
lineage, finding out your family history, finding out where you came from, and it was very eye-opening. Well, I recommend anybody that has like immigrants for parents to go visit your familial country and just see what it's like, especially when your parents are there interacting with their family members.
Oh, we have a lot in common, actually, me and you. Like, it was my mom's side that was in the countryside, in the farm area. So we had to travel like maybe 8 hours through the bumpy roads. Like you said, like traveling across the country. Like, I didn't know if my lower spine was going to survive. It was just like, there's nothing as painful as that. Like the ride anyway. Like, there's no bumpy ride compared to Cambodian, like dirt, like off country, and we're just in like a regular kind of SUV kind of van.
SUV.
It was a van. It was like an old school van. It was so old, like from like the 70s or something, or 80s.
Yeah. Did you was there like a museum for some of the stuff that happened in Cambodia? Because there's been some atrocities, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of terrible things that happened in the country, and it devastated the country, as some people might know. And there are museums. We didn't get to visit those. My brother did, though, recently on his last trip. We stayed clear of that because a lot of times people like to, they just stay clear of that, especially at my age. I wasn't ready, and I don't know if I am at this point either.
I think
it's hard.
It might be a good idea, because I remember going to a museum in Chongqing. Like, I visited the palace that the emperor lived in for a little while when he was being puppeted by the Japanese.
Oh,
There's
wow.
this museum area behind it where you get it basically details the Nanking massacre.
Yeah.
And it was quite cool to be able to see what was going on in there, because like in Canada there might be some museum, but I don't know if there's like any museum dedicated to anything specific that horrible that happened in Canada. You know, they kind of, I don't know if there's anything about residential schools in Canada, like a museum of some sort. Maybe there is, but with China, there's a lot of history there. So you're able to see a lot of stuff that happened. You know, they show pictures of some of the stuff that they did in the Nanking massacre. You know, like children, babies, that kind of stuff. You can actually see pictures of that, and it's just like, oh, okay, shit. There's a lot of history here.
Eventually I'm planning on doing that. When I visit, I think I have to. It's part of my history, so it's what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Yeah, we have so much in common.
Yeah, you guys are like practically brothers.
Brothers, man. What the hell? Different lives, different people, but similar stories.
So I guess I'll talk a bit about a question B. Hain asked me about how fulfilling has it been creating the characters for Wraith, to focus your energy on something more specific rather than trying to figure out random stuff. It's been great, very good. Helps a lot to have that focus, and the number one reason I wasn't creating anything publicly was because I was afraid that people would judge affinity by it, and I still get people like, "Oh, this is your project, right? The one you've been working on all those years." No, it's not. But just doing something, it makes it much better.
When are you gonna start working on Affinity?
Oh, I've already started working on it. It's just gonna be a really long time, like
publicly.
probably,
I mean, like, right?
Oh, I'm not gonna work on it publicly. No.
Oh, what?
It's like a 10-year at least project. It's like the more I do, the better it gets, and the bigger it gets, and the more I need to put into it. Which is why I realized I can't make this my show the world, because then people want to see stuff, and it's not gonna be that. It's more like a magnum opus. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Well, is that like your life's work?
Like your one big work. Yeah. Yeah. So.
That's a nah.
But Wraith is fun. It's getting better.
That's with the like the alien girls.
They're not alien girls.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay. So
I don't know. I'm not sure which story, but I felt like.
All right, I'll tell you about it
Okay.
a bit. So I made this chart so I could better explain it, because when people ask me to talk about the story, like what is the story about? All right. So I have these people, so I can like point to them. So the story starts. Well, it starts. There's backstory. So I'll tell you the backstory, a little bit of it, just a bit. All right. So this guy Adaran, he's like he's like a Zeus type in charge of all the gods, and he's the son of this woman Hanasa, and for whatever reasons, they have like this. I mean, I know the reasons, but I don't know how much I should go into detail. But let's just start with, he's like the main god guy, and then she's his mom, and this is his sister Hera, and Hera ends up having a prophecy that Adaran's gonna get killed. Oh, Adaran has 50 sons and 50 daughters, and so she gives him a prophecy that he's going to get killed by one of his sons. All right, fair enough. So he gets really paranoid. First, he doesn't believe it, but anyway, after he gets paranoid, and then he's like, I can't have this, because there is an attempt on his life, and he gets rid of his sons, and so then he replaces them with daughters, and they're all like god or goddess of something. So she's the goddess of time. She's the goddess of death. She's the goddess of longevity. And so he's supposed to die, but he doesn't, because he gets rid of his sons. So then it's like, she's the goddess of death, and she's like, your time's up. Like, you're not supposed to be around. That wasn't supposed to happen. But then she's like, well, and it's also her dad, but she doesn't like him very much. But anyway.
Have you told me about this one at all?
Nope, probably not.
Okay.
Probably not. So anyway, so she decides, okay, I gotta get rid of you, but how am I gonna do that? Because you're a really powerful god type guy, and it's not easy to get rid of you. So she plans this thing to get rid of him. And she has a son, Mesra, and a daughter, Anari. And she's grooming her son so that he'll get rid of him, because he's he's her son. So, you know, one of your sons will kill this guy. So she thinks, oh, that'll kind of work. And there's more to it, but I'm not going to spoil it. But anyway, so he is being groomed, and she's keeping him secret because she knows if this guy finds out about her son, he's going to kill him. So she kind of raises him in secret, and she gives him 2 weapons. They all have like divine tools. There's like they can do a bunch of stuff. And the weapons she gives him are she gives him a divine mirror, and what that does is if you use the mirror, anyone that you point it at, it creates a duplicate of them. So they end up having to fight themselves for a while. And then she also gave him her sword, her weapon.
Are these a bunch of spoilers? You're just spoiling.
No, this is all backstory.
Oh, okay.
It's not. So there's a bunch more stuff. It's a lot more interesting. I'm just telling you like the very light stuff.
Mm.
So she gives him the sword that can kill anything. So the idea is, if he tries to kill him, what'll happen is he can like use the divine mirror, make a duplicate of Adran. He'll have to fight himself, and then if he wants, he can kill him or not, or just run away.
Oh.
But this guy's a douche because he's the son. He's been like, he's been kind of sheltered. He's doted upon. His mom's always looking out for him. His sister hates him because she's like, oh, you're spoiled. And she lets him do whatever he wants. And so this guy doesn't end up being that good of a person. He likes to prank a lot. He seems like he just likes to joke around, and very, very lazy type person. So one time, Mesra is playing around, and he like plays some prank on his mom with the sword. And his mom's like, hey, take back your sword. But she doesn't think about it because she doesn't really use that sword. And whenever you point the sword at someone, it kills that person. So she ends up killing her son. And she's like, oh, fuck. There goes everything. Because the whole point, like, I've been grooming this son for a long time. But she has this shaman lady, Wada, who's her, like, helper person. And Wada's done this before, and she knows how to resurrect people. So she's like, okay, she quickly gets to, okay, I'm going to resurrect Mesra. So she's the sister of this guy, Wudo. And Wudo happens to be like a sage of the goddess of life. So she's the goddess of death. Goddess of life is her aunt, actually. So Wada hates Wudo. She's just like, I don't like you. I don't like anything you do. And Wudo has a favorite pupil called Aaron. And Aaron he's this big tough guy. And the thing with him, though, is that the only reason he's big and tough is because he never wanted to get in a fight. He's really a coward. He doesn't like fighting. He doesn't like conflict. He likes pacifism. He likes, I'll be with the goddess of life because she's like calm in nature and everything's peaceful, and I don't want to fight. So he gets really strong, and he learns to fight so that everyone's like, oh shit, he looks tough, I'm not going to fight with him because he doesn't want to fight. So then Wada knows, like, oh, you've got your favorite pupil, Aaron. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use Aaron to resurrect Mesra, because the way you resurrect someone is you need to have someone sort of sacrificed, and then the resurrected spirit takes over that one's brain. So basically it would be Mesra would be in Aaron's head, and he would be revived, but he'd be in Aaron's body. But Aaron, he's studied with Wudo, and he's learned meditation and discipline and all sorts of stuff. So Wudo, the first thing that happens with Wada is when she takes someone over, a crest appears on them. And Wudo notices, like on Aaron, the crest of Wada is on him. And so he knows, like, something's going down. Wada's doing something to my guy.
Wait, Wada and Wudo, they're siblings, right?
Yeah, they're siblings. So Wudo gets, like, he knows because he sees his sister's crest on him. So like, okay, she's gonna do something to you. Remember what we talked about. Remember your training and like meditate and be disciplined. So Mesra's spirit tries to take over Eren, but Eren's so disciplined, he actually gets a heads up and he doesn't let this happen. So this fails. So Mesra doesn't take over Eren. It kind of gets botched, and Eren traps Mesra in like this kind of cage in his mind. But Wada knows that it didn't work, but she doesn't want to tell Nahia because Nahia is the goddess of death, and she's like, uh-oh, if I tell Nahia it didn't work, she's going to kill me. So what happened when Mesra couldn't take over Eren, when it didn't work, it created like this failed possession, and Eren turned into Wraith. So Wraith is the failed possession of Mesra trying to take over him, and it's like this broken person. This represents like the tearing of his mind. So you've got Wraith, and then Wada tells Nahia, it worked, totally worked. Your son's reincarnated. Nailed it. And so Nahia's like, awesome, my son's not dead. He can go kill his dad now, or his grandpa, eventually.
Wow.
And then, so she's like, okay, so Wraith gets the divine tools because the tools, the weapons are soul-bound. So they were bound to Mesra's soul, so now he gets them. I learned about what soul-bound meant from Flavia. Anyway.
Nice.
So now Wraith has this sword that cuts everything, but he's such a pacifist. He's never going to use that. He's like, I don't want to kill everybody. I'm about peace and like life and stuff. But he really likes the mirror because he's got that divine mirror. So the mirror just duplicates your opponent, and then they fight themselves, and then you run away. So he's awesome. He's like, great. That's good. And so with the other two, with Thea and Galu, the other faces which I haven't introduced, Thea is the goddess of strength. Galu is the goddess of rainbows. And what happened with Adoran is he got rid of, so before Mesra was born, he got rid of all of his sons, there were 49. He's the 50th. So there's 100 gods and, 100 divine people, 50 gods, 50 goddesses. He's one of them. So he gets rid of his 59 or 49 sons. And this was about like 25 years ago.
Oh, damn.
So he's starting, what happened is before this.
Wait, this backstory still?
Yeah, there's tons of backstory.
Oh.
So before this, the sons, the ones that were picked for the gods and the ones that were picked for the goddesses, it was a very careful process. They picked like the really good people for the job. And they made sure like this person fits, and most of them were Adoran's kids anyway. So what happened after though is they had a whole bunch of positions to fill. And what happened is Adoran told everyone that the demons done it. The demons killed his sons, but he did it. So everyone suddenly starts hating these demons who before they were fine. They're not doing anything. So they all go after the demons. And then Adoran's like, I got to fill these positions. So he starts having kids and filling his positions with new goddesses. And so the newer ones, they're not really stable. They're not okay. Like some of them are okay picks, but a lot of them, it's not carefully planned out how they're going to be. And with Galu, she's the goddess of rainbows because what happens is he has this realm where his kids stay on this realm, and they're not immortal. The only way to become immortal is to become divine. So before that, they just stay, and then if they get a position, like you're the goddess of whatever, then you get your divine tools and you get your immortality. With Galu, she was just being bullied in this place, like this pre-whatever. There's tons of kids. There's like thousands of kids, but she was being bullied, and Adoran didn't know what to do about it. And so he just gave her a goddesshood. He's like, all right, you're the goddess of rainbows now. Yay. Everything's fine, right? And so she's like the newest goddess. She's given this title that she doesn't really know what to do. And shortly after she became a goddess, Wraith appears, who's Mesra taking over Eren. And so Wraith comes into this world, and Galu's also new to this world. She doesn't know, like, what do I do as a goddess? What does this mean? And so they kind of explore the world together. And Taya tags along because Taya's like, she likes Wraith. They both are really strong and really pacifists. So Taya believes like true strength is not using force to hurt people and, you know, trying to help people and stuff. And that's what's really strong, not flaunting your strength. So Wraith's kind of the same way. You know, I look big and tough and scary, but I'm fine. I'm harmless. And if there's a fight, I'm going to run away.
Nice.
That's a very minor
Minor.
introduction.
A short version.
Yeah, but it's gonna get more developed as time goes on
Wow.
because it's already way more developed. I'm like hiding so much stuff.
Yeah.
So
And I talk to
complex.
Flavia about it all the time.
Wow. Where is it based? What is it based off of?
It's based off a lot of generic ideas. So archetypes. It's based off
Generic
archetypes.
ideas.
So, for instance, that place where there's a bunch of kids and they're the children of Adoran who are not divine. The issue with that, or the idea for that, was based off this drama Flavia was watching called Muhtasham
The Magnificent Century.
The Magnificent Century, and it's about Sultan Suleiman, who's this Turkish sultan, and he has a harem, and basically he has his concubines, and some of them,
Potential concubines.
yeah, some of them become sultanas, like the queen, and so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna rip that idea off. So that's kind of the idea of, oh, you have a bunch of people who aren't really anything, but they could be. They could be elevated to this position, and then they're very powerful. The Adoran stuff is just based off Greek mythology. Basically, you have like Cronus and Zeus, and with other ones, they're based like Wudo's based off like a goblin guy, but also kung fu people. Eren's based off kung fu people. Mesra is like a Loki type. They all start as types, and then I basically, the way I'm writing this story pretty quickly is that you start with the most generic idea, and then you allow that. You like, what is the most obvious choice?
Yeah.
And then you put a spin on it. So, for instance, okay, you have a really strong guy, and this guy's the strongest in the whole world. What's he gonna be? And you know, you might think generic, well, he's going to be this giant and he's super strong and he's bigger than everyone, he's got more strength than everyone, he's like this Hulk type character. It's like, all right, so now make him exactly the opposite of that. All right, so like okay, so make him like the super small girl who is not scary at all. And it's like, I mean, that's just an example of where to start, but it's like flipping it entirely on its head then is like, so how would the super small girl become the strongest creature, and how would she deal with things? And all right, that's something. It's at least thought-provoking, or so stuff like that. You know, like with Eren, oh, he's big and tough and he can fight. All right, so let's make him not be able to, like, he doesn't want to fight. All right, okay. I mean, it's not like it's super original. So it's just very basic ideas, and then the rest is, after you put down enough pieces, the story basically just fills itself in, because things have to happen based off other things. For instance, with Eren, his character design has an empty spot on his shoulder because his arm is free, and that's so that Wada's mark can appear there.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you got to do character design, but it's got to work for the story.
Sounds like a lot of fun. You're just playing with it.
Yeah, I'm just playing with it.
That's a lot of fun.
It's fun to listen to every day with the new developments.
Yeah. What happens? What's going on? So are you going to develop it into like a comic strip kind of thing, or?
No, just an art book. Have you seen the Tactics Ogre art book?
Tactics Ogre.
Yeah, have you seen that?
Like everyone come together or something?
Yes.
I think I bought that. I think I have it. Yes, I have that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
but it's in Japanese, so I didn't read it.
Yeah, mine is in Japanese as well. But basically, it's this type of thing where you just have a bunch of the characters.
Oh,
that was the idea.
That's
And I
great.
thought, if I have 99 goddesses, that's a bunch of character design right there, right?
Right.
That's, so if I give 2 pages per person, like, you know, they got like 1 page and then the other page is something else. That's 200 pages. That's a decent sized book. I have a bunch of other stuff, and then maybe I can get like guest artists to contribute. And
That's
then,
brilliant. That's brilliant. And I've seen some
So-
artists doing that recently with like kind of medieval fantasy artwork. I don't know if you know who it is, but he funded it, and it's huge. He's a great artist. And I with the story based off of that story that I was telling you about back in the day, I was like, I gotta do it. It's based off of the HBO hit. You know what I'm talking about?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's along those lines. So it's like, it goes back to like, if you don't have a job, like give yourself a job. If you don't, you know what I mean? If you're looking for work, give yourself the work to do. And it's like, if you build it, they will come, and you'll have options open to you. And Sycra is, he's putting his work into it and developing the story, and it's gonna have like all these characters. And if you can complete it, then at the end of it, you're going to develop skill. You're going to get people asking you for work. And you might even have the opportunity of working for yourself because it's just doing so well. So that's a lesson for you guys. If you guys are just like always wondering and confused about how do I get a job at a video game company and stuff like that. It's not always about
stuff up, because it can become a portfolio so easily.
Yeah,
and like if nothing else, even if it doesn't become anything, it's like, well, you have to put in the work. You have to do. Evan Amundsen is I think the guy you're talking about, right, Jet?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge. He really. Everyone knew who he was, and took off. His project really took off, and his book was made. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm looking. Yeah, man. I'm freaking excited about this. Yeah, look, your characters are already, the gears are turning. You got your ideas, and everything's just like so cool. And then like in the end, like it can go anywhere. A producer might see it and be like, hey, can we take this story, make a film or something?
Yeah, if they want it, that's fine. I really created it. Like the most important thing is variety. That's more than anything I wanted, and it shows in this image where these are just the gods, the ones that they got replaced. They all have stories and stuff, but you may recognize.
What? Nani.
Anyway, so the idea.
Oh shoot!
Oh boy.
The most important thing was just that
you
there's
had
variety.
to do that, didn't you?
Dude, those are all yours?
Yeah, it's just a lot of variety. That's the important thing.
So phenomenal, man.
I just wanted to make sure, like, some of the gods are not strong at all, and they're not. Some of them aren't cool, and it's not because they're supposed to be cool. It's because they're actually not cool. Like, they're just not cool at all, and I think that's fine.
Can you do a quick little scroll? I want to see.
Yeah. So.
Oh my god, you got like your little Pokemon list right there.
Well, yeah. So like this guy, he's the worst drawn. He really bothers me. I'm gonna redo him. But the idea behind him is he's cool. He's the god of blood, and he's not like the god of blood as in he's gonna kill you or anything. He's the god of blood as in if you have blood diseases or you need a transfusion or you need someone you want to donate your blood, he's the one. So what he does is he plays this, I am a vampire, I'll take your blood. But just to make the kids feel comfortable. So like he just wants to make it so I'm big and scary, but totally not. So, you okay with that? Yeah.
That's racist, Sycra.
I liked it.
And some of them are pretty cliche, but that's the thing.
Culturally appropriating everybody.
Like,
turn
I
into other
guess
things.
like you say things are really cliche, and I can kind of see it, but I still like it just because of the spin that you put on it. It's just
Yeah.
like even the idea that it's like, oh, these are gods, but they're not cool. It's like, yeah, that's
Some of them aren't. Some of them are supposed to be kind of cool, but a lot of them are just like, yeah, they're not.
Yeah, but that's just like
This is
that's just
the God
not,
of War.
some people are more appealing than others.
I made the God of War a redhead because I don't think he's. Like, I never see badass redheads. They're dukes. That's why I did him.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't recall. Like, maybe there is because I'm so bad with my references.
I think I've seen that trope before. Well, not a trope, but I think I've seen a character similar to that.
This
Not
is
sure if you want
my
to-
magnum
I
opus.
think touching on the idea of keeping it simple is the way to go. It's the key element to a successful artwork piece,
Yeah.
project, whatever it is. If it's not simple enough for the masses, the majority of people to digest, then it's gonna flop. It's gonna fail when you start getting things too complex. It's like, and they have this special sword that spins out of control, and all these things. It's at the base of it. It has to have a simple enough kind of premise that people can understand.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can get lost with all the little details, and if it's about the details, it's like, I don't know if I can get on board with that. You can introduce that later.
Well, I wanted the strategy. Like in my head, I think of it as like an RPG with strategies and stuff. That's how I come up with a lot of ideas as well. And, I want it to be kind of stupid. So, for instance, there's a goddess of childbirth, and she has diapers in a bag, like all the time. But her divine tool is her bag, and the idea of her bag is basically anything she puts in, she can then make multiple copies of, like infinite copies, like just dupe the item. So she has baby bottles, she has diapers, she has all sorts of things that she can just take as much out of it. But that's like such an overpowered item.
Yeah.
Like if you put actual stuff in, that would be really strong. So then if you wanted a team in this imaginary RPG, it would be really good to have her.
Yeah, you gotta watch Boku no Hero too. Wait, have you started watching it?
No, I'm still on Ghost in the Shell.
Okay, I'm just saying because, like with RPG, Boku no Hero, it's got a variety of heroes, and they all have like spectacular powers, and a lot of them are silly. So they play with stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so Boku no Hero isn't that good. Iron Tucker says, "Hey, Jetty Jet knows what's up. I know enough. Like I got to episode like 6 and 7. I'll tell you the truth, straight up. Me and Cynics both agree. We're sitting through the first couple episodes, and we're just like, this is a bit too cliche. The character design. Okay, first of all, I know some of you have already heard me say this on Cynics' stream. I love the main character's design. Most of the main characters, anyway. They're like, for me, I'd say B+. B+ to A-. Okay, but all the background dudes are just like shit trash throwaway characters that they didn't really. No, I'm only on episode 6 too, so I need to keep going. But whenever I see the background characters, there's no real clear cohesive character like shape language in the designs. It's kind of like you just have to see it to understand. And for me, the visuals, it's distracting, and so the first parts were mediocre, just mediocre. It was a good enough story to keep watching, but it wasn't like something I'm just like, wow, this is awesome. And I remember everybody saying, this is brilliant. Boku no Hero is actually brilliant. Enzo, Enzo remembers. He remember. I didn't hate it. Okay, and but anyways, at the 6th episode, it's starting to kill the problems that I had with it. It started to justify and touch on the things that was bugging me about the story, and I was like, great, they're going at it like the approach that I was hoping for the whole time, and it was brilliant. So yes, you're right, it is brilliant. So at around the 6th episode, I started feeling like, yes, this is something definitely I can invest and sink hours into, but I just haven't yet. I just haven't gotten back into it. It's been about a year since I put it down, so it's good. I just haven't continued it from episode 6-ish. So, but yeah, just that on Sycra's note, it was it's cool with all the characters. I think You should definitely watch it.
I will. I will once I have time to.
Yeah, Ghost in the Shell.
Well, yeah, we only watch like one thing a day because that's what we have time for. And then it's like, all right, well, it's gonna be a while, but I'll get to it. I've got a bunch of people telling me you should watch this and you should watch that. All right.
I started watching Megalobox. You ever heard of that?
No, I haven't heard of anything. I didn't even know about Boku no Hero until I saw like people posting a lot of art about it.
Okay. So Megalobox is a newer anime. It's about boxing. Set in kind of like
Oh, is it like Hajime no Ippo?
Yes, it's very much Hajime no Ippo. I haven't seen Hajime no Ippo, but from the feel I get from it. The special thing about this is it's so strong in story driven and character development, and the drawings, they all look hand drawn. Everything looks hand drawn. Like it looks like traditional. Like this animation looks like it's from the 90s. If you watch one episode, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's so like classic. It looks so classic, and it was a big draw for me. I love hand drawn traditional stuff. Definitely, guys, go check that out. Megalobox. It's a good one. Megalobox. And it's not like there's no ecchi, there's no girls. Like it's not all about those boobies. So obviously that's gonna lose like half of the fans. They're just like, oh, what? No girls. Yeah, it's not about that. It's so like heavy on boxing and coolness. Just so cool.
Awesome.
Similar to Samurai Champloo, if you're into Samurai Champloo.
Yeah, I've seen
that. It's kind of like
That's
that.
When I still used to watch anime.
Yeah, it's like Samurai Champloo, but boxing. Imagine that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, looks like we're
good time.
We're pretty much done for time. Any last questions? I'll just throw this out, and then.
Oh yeah, last questions, you guys.
And we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap this video up.
It's been fun. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for taking the time. And, did you want to mention anything about your convention, the next one you're going to?
Oh yeah, that'd be kind of cool to talk about. Yeah, I'm doing SAC Anime this in September on September. No, it's August 30th to the 3rd of September. So for 4 days in Sacramento. I'll be there, and I have to prepare a bunch of stuff for that. But yeah, there's some more stories. Stories. Ricardo Moscatello. What was I gonna say about the rest of AX? AX is good. I had a good time, and yeah, I'll just be doing. I wanted to just talk about like just the whole the work ethic for preparing for AX and stuff, but that's a whole nother. That's probably a whole nother stream and stuff. Covered a lot.
Right, yeah.
That's huge. Oh, the talk about Krenz. What did Jet talk about Krenz? Yeah, Krenz was there. A friend of mine from the last convention in Fanime. That was in May. He invited me. He said we're gonna be going out with Krenz to Riot to have a tour at Riot, and he's gonna be like do a lecture at Riot, which he did. When AX came around, I wasn't able to do the Riot thing, but it didn't work out for Krenz on that day either. And he said let's just have dinner instead. So we were able to have dinner, and dude's a freaking awesome dude, man. He's such a humble guy. He's like an open book. Any question from anybody around, just like he just explains the whole entire thing. He's just a cool guy. Great dude. Yeah. There's Sec Anime. Definitely come out if you guys are around in town. Yep.
All right then.
Cool. All right. So, was that it? Were there any other questions? What did Jeff talk about with friends? Yeah, that's it. How do you draw quicker? Like not focus on the wrong things with drawing or painting. This is counterproductive advice, but if you want to draw quicker, draw slower and draw more carefully, and then do that a lot, and you will build up speed. So don't be sloppy. I think that's a mistake a lot of people make, and I probably made that too. When you're trying to draw fast, because you see people drawing fast, and they're just kind of putting down a bunch of information, and you're like, that looks so cool, I want to do that, and that's what I should do, and I should draw fast. It can kind of backfire because you end up just drawing sloppy, and whatever you do a lot, you get practice doing that. So you're going to get practice being sloppy. Whereas if you draw very carefully and precisely, and you really care, and you're trying to make it look good, then you're going to get practice doing that, and you will speed up. So the speeding up just comes with time, I think. But I mean, probably the opposite is also true. That's usually the case in all these things. Whatever is true in one case, the opposite is true.
Yeah.
I've heard people say that you should draw fast, and then your precision comes over time. But for me personally, I tried that, and it seemed not as useful as drawing slow and then building up speed as time goes on. So
there's like a couple of artists that I pay attention to throughout the years, and I feel like there's a couple of artists that are very similar to you and me, and also Bob too, and it's, I think, related to like more animation type of style of sketching versus analytical style sketching. You know what I mean? So when you said like drawing fast, that's something I can relate with. Like as growing up drawing, I'd see people drawing fast. I'm like, well, that's cool. And that I always pride myself over, man, I'm a fast drawer. And I'm just sitting there like, whoa, look at this drawing. Oh my God, I'm so fast. Yeah, look at this arm. You know what I mean? And just trying to show off with the speed, doing it really sketchy and stuff. But like you said, that only can get you so far, and slowing it down and actually paying attention is really helpful.
Yeah.
There's a couple artists.
There's like a limit to a lot of these things.
Like I feel like the other artists would be like Ray Q. He kind of draws that kind of loose, sketchy animation style. What's his name? Ahmed. Yeah, Ahmed too. He has that kind of loose, sketchy style, very similar.
Yeah. But people can be fast, but it doesn't mean you, like, in terms of how to get fast is often not to draw fast. You actually take time and think about things more, and you get faster at thinking.
I think Kim Jong-gi is like that.
Like,
not that very slow, very deliberate.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's not very slow. It's a medium speed. I wouldn't say he's fast. When you see his pen move, it's not moving fast. Mm-hmm. It's moving probably slower than most of the artists you'll see, but he makes like almost no mistakes. Everything's in the right spot. So
it's like he skips a lot of steps.
Yeah,
he doesn't need to do under drawings or stuff. It's like, no, just be clear and slow and precise. And
Richard Schmidt says the same thing. Like often the best guys, they don't look fast in terms of putting down a lot of stuff, but they're not spending so much time correcting, because usually with people who draw fast, especially like I was this way for sure, and I'm still too much this way and I want to get better, but you just put down a bunch of stuff and then you spend the next however many minutes fixing all the mistakes.
Yeah.
I'm very guilty of that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I see that style is like we're drawing through our drawing and not worried about leaving those actual sketchy marks, because we feel like we're gonna clean it up. These are just the roughs and stuff. And I see like for example Kim Jong-gi and who else does it? Maybe like other manga artists. You know, their every line is like very, very direct, very methodical. They're thinking about the actual shape of the structures, and those are like pretty much the final lines. And I was thinking about this because I feel like I'm kind of going towards more of that direct style. Like, for example, this sketch that I'm working on, there's rough drafts upon rough drafts, and started with a thumbnail because it's a concept art, right? You got to have production line, you got to have the thumbs first, so you can show the clients and all that stuff. But when it came to like my daily sketches, I started to develop that kind of more direct approach, because I know that I want to only give myself a limited amount of time. They're meant to be daily sketches that I'm doing every day, and it's more manageable if you can get your drawings done faster. So once you limit yourself in time, you're more methodical, you're more direct and deliberate with each stroke. And yeah, that's something.
And
that
I would
I
say
picked
that
up.
you're at the stage where you can be fast. Like Bob is super fast. That's not
Bob
the
is
same
super
as like, oh,
Yeah.
draw when you're not good in a way. Like
Yeah.
try to draw fast because you want to draw fast, but you don't really know how to draw. But if you do, then of course you can do it fast.
There's a lot of shorthands. I think that's a good way to put it. There's a lot of shorthands. Like,
But that comes with experience. See, that's the whole point. Is like,
Yeah.
do you have experience or don't you have experience? Because if you don't have experience, then that's the thing. And I guess a lot of the information I give is from people I see a lot, and that tends to be more student types. So of course, like you could say, well, this professional does it this way, and it's like, yes, that professional may also have like thousands and thousands of hours of drawing experience.
yeah.
So it doesn't exactly, like, pretty much at the high levels, the rules kind of stop mattering as much.
Yeah.
Everyone can do magical things.
There's something to say about that. Yeah, for sure. Like, for when you start seeing people doing like shorthand, like, if you see my screen here?
Mhm.
So like, I don't know, how much longer is the stream going for? Do you want to end it?
Pretty much as soon as you're done, we'll end it.
Okay, let's do a quick little discussion. So one example of like a shorthand for me that I started doing is head structure. So before we always talk about like circle, we do the jaw separately and like a point shape. We'll do the guidelines. We can hit the eyebrows and all these things. This is kind of traditionally how we would approach things, and it's, for the most people, they can understand that because it's very what's the word, analytical. You're actually basing it off of a rubric. There's a lot of rules into it. But then when I needed to I'm like, this head is usually the same shape every time, so I started doing this shorthand where I just create this shape over and over, and this is and I'm breaking that up, and I'm also hitting undo, which is not the fast that we're talking about with Kim Jung-ki. Kim Jung-ki would like look at it and be like, okay, the head's gonna go like this, and keep going, and actually take your time with it, like that. But overall, this shape alone is going to be the final shape. If you look at any of my like daily sketches, they're really basic head structures like this, and doing that alone saved me a good 10 minutes already. It's a shorthand for the head structure, and it's, for me, this appealing shape you see in a lot of manga art, female art. Like it's got that.
Even in animation, they do it. They call it a bean, and it's a bit more rounded. But
bean, bean, exactly. And I just throw in 2 slices for the eyes. See and there, it's really simple. I mean, that's just the skull structure. But that's a shorthand, and being able to just do that, I'm sure anyone can. It's really simple. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like you do 100 of these, and you'll have all these nice different varieties.
Yeah, I was watching a video by Steve Houston, and he does. You can see his work on New Masters Academy. Steve Houston, he simplifies it to like a D shape.
Sailboat, he calls
it. A sailboat for the head. And that's really useful too. And I found myself doing a similar thing before I saw him doing it. It was like, and doing it too.
And Cynics too. Cynics is very big on this. Like he always does it this way. And I always remember saying, you gotta have your guidelines, and he's just like, nah, fuck guidelines,
Well, he does his paper mask faces.
Well, paper mask face, those were guidelines for sure. I mean, like, well, in general, when he's sketching heads, he always does this with this like this nose thing,
Right.
He always does this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if this is, I mean, this is one shorthand, and if it comes to hand, for example, you can start off with the thumb, Yeah.
Once
this
you get
this thumb alone, breaking things down, every piece of information into its own chunk is shorthand. So if you can understand each and every one of those parts of the hand, then it becomes shorthand. You know?
Yeah.
So that's
And if
really
the
what
hand is big, it becomes big hand.
but yeah, there. I mean, for some people, this is where they want to start. They want to start as an amateur. They want to begin with drawing directly, and I think that's where those people. That's that school of thought where they draw directly. They don't want to draw with sketch lines and stuff because of pride or just because of preference. But there's no right or wrong way of doing it, because the other way of doing it is, for me and probably Sycra, is that we want to study the actual like the actual structure of the hand, how it divides, and all that stuff. And it takes a lot of time finally to get to that shorthand, where somebody who started this way, they'll have issues more with proportion. They'll have a lot of issues with proportion, and things will look wobbly and really just glaringly obvious. You'll see a lot of issues with it, and there's pitfalls in both approaches, and there's not really one right or wrong way of doing it. It's just where you start off. And
sometimes the shorthand becomes like your own shorthand. Like, for instance, if I'm drawing a hand, maybe I'll do something like that, but it means something to me. Like, I know what that's going to be, or like, oh, you're going to have someone pointing and you do this type of thing. It's like, well, I know how to flesh that out to be a hand, but in the beginning, it might not look like that, right? Like, you just save time. So, I don't know.
Beautiful. Yeah, I like
Not
that.
Beautiful.
Well, I think
the
because
point is there, though, that
it looks really confident, and it gets the gesture. That's all about gesture, and that what you just did, and that right there is the kind of sketch that people like, mesmerizes people. Like, whoa, that was like 2 seconds, but it leaves a lot of mess, and it's a lot of cleaning up to do, which isn't, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just another approach. It's just another approach.
Yeah, I think for me, what I do now is my idea is basically to draw as rough of a thing. Like, let's say there's a person. What's the person doing? Let's say they're like crouched over, or they're standing and they're crouched. Okay, so I might do something like this, because this is very like a rough approximation. Here's generally the head. Yeah. Here's like the body. I'm thinking about proportions. Maybe the hands, like,
right.
His hands are on his head. Okay, so he's doing that. And like maybe his legs are, so that's like the first thing. Yeah. And that looks really shitty. But what I've found is the more you give your brain to work with, the more it can not have to worry about. So now if I lower the opacity of this and I draw again on top of that, it's like, well, all the proportions are there. So now I can focus on, maybe like straight against curves. There's just a lot that's, it's almost like you're doing a critique. I don't know if you've done critiques where it's kind of easier to see someone else's mistakes.
Right. But that's what, because that's why you're so advanced, is you're able to see and become inspired with those structures, because you've studied the anatomy and analyzed it analytically, and being able to play with those two worlds. That's the trick right there to achieve what you just did.
Yeah, and then you just keep doing that. So it's like, okay, well, that one's done. So now I have another layer. You can lower the opacity again, make a new, and this is mostly digital, but you can do it traditionally if you just draw really lightly. Right. And then you can go in and really like, well, that's an ear, and it's like that. And then, the lighting, you can think about all the little details, but, and maybe like pushing the pose, but it comes from like a very simple place, because that's, like that, the idea is we already know what things look like. So if you see something, it's much more likely that you'll be able to see what's off.
Right.
And so if you saw a person and you saw them from far and you see their silhouette, but one arm is a bit longer than the other, you'll still be able to tell that. You'll still be able to look at that person and be like, that looks like one arm's longer than the other. So the idea is put down crap so that you can see it, like make it not completely inaccurate, but more like make a vague idea of a thing until it's like, all right, now looking at this vague idea, if that was a head, what would it look like? if that was an arm, how would it, in detail? And then the more you get closer to it, the more you can see, all right, this would go here and this would go there and stuff.
I want to just add a little bit to. I'm sorry. Anybody else? Does anybody else have anything to say about that?
No.
Flavia, no. Okay.
No.
Okay. So, just on that, like, because I just remember doing these sketches for the thumbnail. I mean, yeah, it's pretty much a thumbnail stage still at this point where I'm fleshing out for the story. But I started off with these poses before I even before I did the thumbnails. I just wanted to figure out how is the pose of the main seller of the focal point of the drawing is going to be, because we wanted a female character on the front, which is why I was picked for the splash screen. My idea was to just start off with a pose that invoked some sort of emotion, some energy, and the pose. And in drawing the poses, I thought about how I used to approach, like, from like a long time ago. My sketches would be so rough, and I probably wouldn't know what to do with a lot of these gestures. They'd look cool, but they wouldn't make too much sense. And another problem with it is I'd get fixated on trying to get the anatomy to work right. That's when I started to go to art school. I started to be more critical of myself, and I learned all these things about proportion and anatomy and just things that you need to fix it. It's broken, all this stuff. And as the years went by, 10 years later, I'm now finding myself going back to how I started and applying the knowledge, but basically relearning or trying to unlearn the restrictions that I gave myself, and start to see that priority for me at this stage, when I do a sketch, the priority is capturing emotion and in the gesture, like the emotion gesture. And it sounds so like complex, like what the fuck, how do you capture it? But like for me, if you look at any one of these figures, they're all broken. Like they are really broken. Like legs don't work this way, bones don't work that way, but they tell a bigger story, they send a better message. Like this hand is completely broken. Those fingers, there's only, damn it, why is this, the 4 fingers, there's 4 of them, and that finger's a line. You know what I mean? This finger's you know what I mean? Back in the day, I would stop myself and be like, nope, this thumb is not gonna. This thumb needs to be correct, and I need to work out the structure of it. I need to start with box. I need to do, you know what I mean? And it starts to stiffen up the drawing. But now, yeah, it starts to stiffen because you're laying too many rules down.
Mm-hmm.
There's no forearm, there's no bicep, there's really no anatomy, but this line is all I need to serve, because it tells me the direction, it tells me the proportion, it tells me the angle. It's everything I need, and I move on. It's everything I need. All I need is, and this hip, there's only really 2 real structure, and you can see I'm not really like chicken scratching every line over and over. I'm just trying to get, like, this knee, for example, it goes here, comes here. I'm getting the main idea of the entire gesture, and that for me is the most important part. So yeah, like this hip, it attaches itself way up here to these ribs, and it's like, is that normal? Can that actually, I mean, it probably can work, but there's just so many things wrong with it. But overall, it sells the picture. And my main point is basically not to be fixated on anatomy and seeing the issues and problems with it, and just being able to look at this simple structure and shape. It's so messy. It's you know what I mean, on its own, it probably wouldn't make any sense. Like, what is that, right? But I think that's one of the biggest issues with a lot of early artists is they get fixated with their issues, the problems. They can't draw. They draw a bicep a shoulder that does that, and they're like, nope, that's not good enough. It's a broken. I'm giving up. I'm done. I'm done. I'm frustrated. I can't do this. I suck. I'm never gonna be good. And I think that's our first thing that we need. It's all about how you carry yourself, being open-minded, being able to just persevere, and just being free from your bondages, you know. But yeah, that's it. This is This is about gesture and freeing yourself in the spirit. Yeah, spiritual level. Your inner artist. That's what Pivot said.
And when I look at your stuff, I can totally tell what it's supposed to be anyway.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I mean, artists can look at other artists' shorthand and kind of understand.
Yeah, like, okay, here's a great one. Like, this here is a fold of the hand, and then I have a little bit that comes out here just to show that. And then I'm like, thumb. Literally just a little. It doesn't make sense. I mean, like, what is that? Is that a thumb? You know what I mean? These shapes don't make any sense. But in context, it's enough. It's a roadmap. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's wow.
Yeah, that's
we
enough.
went really over time, but I'm sure. I hope people appreciate it anyway. And yeah, thanks everyone who tuned into this stream. They're pretty rare, but hey, that's you caught it.
It's been a while. Oh my god.
Yeah, and
Thanks for having me so much.
we got Jet. That's also pretty rare. All right. So thanks everyone, and thanks Bob, travel agent Bob.
Yeah.
Shitstorm stories.
Thanks, Bob. Yeah, people, you should buy stuff from the store.
Yeah, go check out those cats.
The art print
Good
stuff.
looking cat.
And Jet. Thanks, Jet.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day or night, and bye.
Bye bye. Thanks
ya.
everyone. See ya. Bye.